Hello everyone. I'd like to welcome you to Healing Through the Chakras by blending Eden energy medicine, mindful energy yoga, mudra, and yoga nidra. I'd like to start by introducing you to the daily energy routine. Eden energy medicine, in which I've spent a year in training and I'm about to start my second year, is really about sort of learning how to learn the language of your body so that you can be more discerning when energy is stuck, when energy is not flowing freely, and do some very, very simple exercises and movements that can allow the free flow of energy. You know, in a perfect world, energy moves smoothly and freely through the body. We're deeply connected to the earth, where we draw energy up through the body. We're connected to the heavens and draw energy down from the heavens and through the body. And again, in perfect health, this flow is unimpeded. Just because of the way the world is, though, energy gets stuck. When energy gets stuck, there's inevitably either physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual dis-ease. And the more tuned in we are to the messages of the body, the more quickly we can apply these very simple but instantaneous techniques to ensure that energy is moving freely for us. So again, a couple of premises. Energy needs to move. It moves in patterns and it can form habits. Some of the habits are good habits, some of the habits are stuck habits. So we're working to remove all of the unhelpful patterns so that energy can flow with ease. It also flows in crossover patterns. When we're perfectly in balance, the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body, the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body, and that energy flow of crossover is reflected all the way down to the layers of our DNA, which form a double helix or a spiral. So we want to maintain all of these patterns of energy flow through the body for optimum health and well-being. Here's the good news. No matter how out of balance you may have been for however long, applying these very simple techniques can take the static out of your system and allow you to reestablish a proper and healthy flow of energy so that you can be your most vibrant and healthy and alive. It helps us to be able to be more resilient in this busy world. Not only are we concerned with our own energy, we exchange energy with the environment. So with all of the electromagnetic energy in the world, other people's energy and negativity, the energy of our own busy mind, we can throw ourselves out of alignment. So again, the more in tune we can be with the state of our own well-being and body, the more quickly we can apply these very simple techniques to bring us back to a place of flow. So, with all of that said, I'm going to lead you through the daily energy routine. Follow along as best you can. Watch this as many times as you need. This will be the basis of some of our energy practices that are woven into the yoga. So it will be helpful but not essential to know this ahead of time. So I always like to begin with what are called the 4 thumps. So the first thump is a grounding thump. It's literally tapping on your cheekbones. Now this is the beginning point of the stomach meridian in acupuncture, and stomach meridian grounds energy down the body and into the earth. So just thump and notice what you do. The second thump is kidney 27. The kidney meridian actually draws energy up from the earth all the way up through the body and distributes it to all of the other acupuncture meridians, of which there are 14. Tapping here allows the kidney meridian energy to flow with ease. Moving down to the middle of the breastbone, just beneath the breastbone is the thymus gland, and the thymus gland is very important for immune function. So tapping here just sort of brings it back to life when it becomes stagnant. When we're stressed out, energy is diverted away from the immune system, and we want to remind it to come back on board. And the last thump is the spleen thump. The point on the acupuncture meridian for spleen is about a hand's breadth below the armpit, and tapping here allows the spleen to come on board and help you to assimilate, both to digest food and to digest experience. So whenever you feel like you've just had too much of anything that you're taking in, this is a fine place to tap. So just take a moment and pause and notice how you are. Notice the body, the breath, and the mind. And then let's remind the body of its crossover pattern. So as I said, the body is meant to cross over energetically from the left to the right and the right to the left. So let's just literally reach all the way back over your left shoulder with the right hand. Dig your fingers in, drag your fingers across the shoulder and off the right hip. Reach up with the right hand over the left hand over the right shoulder. Dig your fingers in, drag across and off the left side. And just a couple of more. This just reminds the body that it is meant to cross over. So just notice how that feels. Now a deeper version, if you will, of that is what's called the cross crawl. And all it is a marching in place to again sort of reset these energy patterns of crossover. And so you take the right hand to the left knee, left hand to the right knee, and march in place. I think that was 24. We're meant to do 24 times. So just notice how you feel. And then let's move into what's called Wayne Cook. I'll do two versions. This is the first standing version. Wayne Cook is also about sort of bringing us out of that fight or flight survival mode up into the higher cognitive functions of the brain, literally shifting blood flow from the reptilian brain up to the prefrontal cortex with the higher cognitive and executive functions. It was first used by Wayne Cook to help children that stuttered, and practicing this little exercise helped them diminish the amount of stuttering. So it's really pretty powerful to pull you out of that sort of anxious and hypervigilant place to a place where you can be more skillfully present in the world. So for this, you can cross the ankles if you're comfortable standing. You can absolutely lean against the wall. You don't have to cross the ankles for the standing version. Extend the hands in front of you. Backs of the hands together. One hand reaches over the other. Interlace fingers. Turn yourself inside out. And as you inhale, stretch up long. And exhale back to center. Inhale up, exhale back. One more time. And back to center. Slowly untangle yourself. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead for part two. Fingertips come together, thumbs come to the center of the forehead, right at the eyebrow center in the third eye. And again, inhale long. And exhale back to center. Inhale up. And back. One more time up. Back to center. And from here, drag the thumbs across the forehead to the temples. Fold the fingers, bring them into the center of the forehead and drag them out to the temples and shake your hands. Bring the fingers back up to the hairline. Push in the midline and drag all the way to the temples. Shake your hands. And then continuing into the next part of the daily energy routine, the crown pull. Particularly useful if you get stuck in your head, if you feel like you can't think, or if you have headaches. So those same folded fingers go right where your center part might be. Push in and just pull from the center out toward the ears. This is literally relaxing some of the cranial muscles. When you get uptight, your scalp muscles literally get tight. And the bones of your scalp are meant to move with breath. There's not a lot of room inside your skull, so when they get even tighter, it makes your head feel tight. So this helps to relieve some of that tension, and I think it just feels so good. So from the midline of the neck all the way out to the sides. And then finally, reach back over the shoulders and just hang for a moment and breathe. And notice how you are. And so from here, we're going to hook up the central and governing meridians. So in acupuncture, there are 14 energy channels that move through the body that flow in a particular manner. Central meridian flows from the pubic bone up to the lower lip, at the level of the lower lip, actually ends in the back of the throat. Governing flows from the tailbone all the way up to the back of the throat at the level of the upper lip. This forms sort of an energetic spine, and so the more we can keep this energetic spine intact, the more contained, if you will, our energy body will be. Central meridian, when it's not intact, allows energy from the external world to come in and sort of overwhelm you. So we can start to zip up and hook up central meridian so that it stays strong for us. So first we'll do the hook up. Left middle finger in the belly button, right middle finger in the eyebrow center. Push in and pull up. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. And just continue for several breaths. You may feel a deeper breath or a sigh or a yawn as the energies connect. So that's hooking up central and governing meridian. And then we can also zip up central meridian, as I said, to keep ourselves intact and sort of protected with a boundary between the outside world and our inner energetic world. So for that, fingertips at the level of the pubis. And just drag your fingers up the midline of the body to the lower lip. Imagine that you're locking that zipper and throwing away the key. And we'll do two more. Inhale up. Throw away the key. Last time up. Throw away the key. Now, if you like, you can also zip up the back. And you can reach up as high as you can. You can connect fingers if you can, or imagine, and then come all the way over and throw away the key. So just take a moment to pause and notice how you are. Now, another piece of the daily energy routine, sort of an additional piece that I like, is to reset the Ileocecal and Houston valves. So we're talking about the muscle between the large and small intestines on the right side and in the lower part of the large intestine on the left side. These are sphincter muscles. And they're meant to function properly, to let things through and then to close when nothing needs to go through. But sometimes they too get out of alignment. When these muscles are out of alignment, the ileocecal and the Houston valves are out of alignment, it affects all of the other valves in your energy body. So if we can keep these healthy, we're theoretically helping everything from the esophageal sphincter that keeps you from having reflux, to the sphincter that allows bile to release from the gallbladder. All of the other sphincters can function more properly if we free these. And so the way to do it is simply to place your hands just on the inside of your hip bones. On an inhalation, push in with your fingers, and as you inhale, drag your fingers up toward the lower ribs and shake your hands. Inhale up. Shake your hands, releasing that energy. One more time up. Shake your hands, and as you next exhale with thumbs at the rib cage, push down with your thumbs all the way back down and shake your hands. Just pause for a moment, feel how you do. And then there's freeing the diaphragm. I don't know about you, but when I get stressed, I find myself holding my breath. And when I do that, my diaphragm gets stuck up high and I can't take deep breaths, which increases anxiety, increases the busyness of your mind. So if you can release the diaphragm, it allows you to sort of settle in, to see more clearly, and to act more skillfully. So to free the diaphragm when it feels stuck, or just as a daily practice, the left hand goes right at the V at the top of your rib cage, the right hand over top. You squeeze the elbows toward the body and inhale, push down, bear down, like you're having a bowel movement. Push in, hold your breath for just an instant, and then let go. Let's do 3 more. If you get dizzy here, take it easy, maybe hold less long. And then reach around back with your right hand and your left, starting as far back as you can reach, and just drag energy from the middle of the back toward the left side, and then all the way down and off the right foot. Back to the right side, pulling that energy around in a belt flow. All the way across the middle, down and off the left leg. And just take a moment to notice if your breath is any freer at all. The next one's sort of fun. It's called the Celtic weave. So my teacher, Donna Eden, actually sees energy. And what she sees in the energy fields of people are all kinds of shapes and patterns and colors. But the predominant shape that she sees are figure eights. So of course, the figure 8 is, invoking and enforcing the crossover pattern. And anytime we do figure 8s, we're reminding the body to cross over. This also just helps you start to move energy by being more fluid and flexible. And it goes like this. So rub your hands together and shake them off. Rub them together again and shake them off. One more time. Shake them off. And then bring the hands close together. If you've ever done Tai Chi or just played with energy, you might be aware or have heard of making this energy ball. And maybe in this moment, you'll feel some tingling or warmth or a sensation in the palms of your hands. Doesn't matter if you can't feel it, just imagine it. And then bring those charged hands up to the outside of each ear. As you inhale, draw the elbows together, cross the arms, and as you exhale, open wide and breathe out, throwing your eyes open, and your arms open. We'll do it again at the level of the thighs. Inhale, cross. Exhale. At the ankles. This time, if it feels safe, just hang here for a breath or two. And then beginning from the shoulders, just start to sway. Let your knees be soft as you draw figure 8s in the air, all the way up. Breathing, creating this beautiful container of figure 8s in which to live. And then just sprinkle all that fresh new energy all around. And come back to center. Notice how you are. All right, moving on to connecting heaven and earth. As I mentioned earlier, we're meant to be rooted in the ground and yet connected to the heavens. And this particular exercise helps us give space enough for energy to move freely between heaven and earth. It's also really helpful for any joint pain that you may have. So just bring your hands to your thighs and just imagine or feel energy moving down the body into the earth, letting your feet ground and root into the earth. And then inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands come to the heart in prayer position. Inhale, reach up to the sky with the right hand, down to the earth with the left. Look up and hold your breath. And then exhale back to center. Inhale, up, left, down, right. Reach long and tall. And back to center. Let's do 2 more each side. Reach up long. And back to center. Inhale, up, left, down, right. And back. One more time, right. And center. One more time, left. And fold yourself forward with soft knees, resting for a breath or 2. And then again, because you can never have too many figure 8s, bring yourself back up, swirling and creating beautiful figure 8s all around. And this time, just walk around, create a beautiful figure 8 suit in which to live. Breathing, opening to flow. Releasing the stuckness and rigidity in the body and just having fun. And notice how you are. And then I'll invite you to sit down for just 2 more. First, I want to introduce you to the seated version of Wayne Cook. So you can do this in a chair or sitting on the floor. And you would cross the right ankle over the left knee. Let the left hand take the right ankle, the right hand take the right foot. And as you inhale, pull the foot and ankle towards you as you arch up and look up to the sky. And exhale back to center. Inhale up. And back. One more time. And back to center. Let's switch. This time left ankle over right knee. Left hand takes the left toes, right hand takes the left ankle. Inhale up. And back. Inhale. And center. Inhale again. And back to center. And from this point, you would continue then with arms up overhead, thumbs to the eyebrow center or the third eye. Inhale up. And back. Inhale up. And center. One more time. Back to center. Drag the thumbs across the forehead, bend the fingers. Drag them across to the temples and shake your hands. One more time along the hairline. Shake your hands and relax. So you can do that either way, depending upon what your circumstances are or what feels more comfortable. The final thing I want to invite you to is to spoon your feet. And I know that's going to sound sort of strange, but we're meant to connect to the earth. The earth has a magnetic polarity, as do we. And when we walk around on artificial floors with rubber shoes, we disconnect with the energetics of the earth. We're meant to move in sync with the north and south polarity, but we can flip that polarity and get out of sync. So in order to reset the polarity of our feet so that we're in alignment with the earth's energy and to allow us to ground more deeply, you can simply take a stainless steel spoon and rub it across the bottom of your foot. There's nothing magic about it, just rubbing the spoon across your foot. Just because I love figure eights, I often make figure eights. Pulls out all of the ions and all of the energy that's stuck in the feet that's preventing you from connecting to the earth. And I like to do it at night before I go to sleep. I think it helps me sleep better. So you might just like to try it on. Let's do the other one. And there you go. And so that, my friends, is the daily energy routine. You'll see snippets of all of these little things that we've done woven through the energy medicine yoga that we'll do in the coming 7 weeks, and I hope you'll enjoy. Thank you so much for being here.